It is officially game day. We're here in Seattle and we've got some phenomenal news to talk about. We're going to get into all that good stuff, but you already know the vibes. Smash that like button, drop an SDS in the chat. Let's get this thing rolling. Let's go. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it. What's good, Instagram? What's good, Facebook? What's good, YouTube? Big day today. Big day today. We got the news we've all been waiting for. Brock Purdy will play today. Again, there was never a doubt, right? No one doubted it at all. Brock Purdy absolutely was going to play, but we got the official word today from Adam Schefter that Brock Purdy will play. And as we know, that is huge news for the San Francisco 49ers as they have an opportunity to go into enemy territory and take the dub. Not only take the dub, but take the West. Really excited about this one. The 49ers have an opportunity to do something that we haven't done since 2019. And we remember what happened in 2019. So I'm really hoping that we get someone's calling me. Don't call me while I'm doing a live. Man, it got my whole live messed up. Don't call me while I'm doing a live. But definitely looking forward to this game. Big test. This is going to be Brock Purdy's first start on the road. And so we're going to see how he's able to manage this environment. As we know, the San Francisco 49ers and Seattle Seahawks have a rivalry that's been brewing since the early 2010s. Is that what we call it? But he's going to be squarely placed in the mix of that, and he has an opportunity to do some big things tonight. So really looking forward to it. Definitely hoping that when everything's all said and done, we are discussing a NFC West championship berth. Let's go. We got a lot of 49er fans going to be showing up today. I see a lot of people on IG saying they're going to be there. I got to look up and see exactly what section I'm in. I don't know exactly for sure, but I'm looking forward to it. And again, you see me at the game, come say what's up. I'm going to be in content mode. We're going to be working out there. But if you see me, come say what's good. I'm looking forward to this game. The 49ers have an opportunity, and I know we're hyped about Brock Purdy, and rightfully so. Brock Purdy played phenomenally well in his first start against the Bucs, and he played really well. We got Africa checking in. Let's go. Got people checking in all the way from Africa. Let's go. Niners everywhere. I'm telling you, we got fans everywhere. I bet if we asked, where are you checking into this live from? I bet a good majority of the people are outside the Bay Area. That's just a guess that I have. If you want to let me know where you're watching this live from, let me know. But we have Africa checking in. We got Vegas over here on YouTube. You'll love to see it. Let me drink my coffee. New Mexico, but from the Bay still. We got Seattle, DMV, DC, Canada, Arizona. We got Oklahoma, Monterey, South Carolina, Beaverton, Oregon, Delaware, Sac, Texas, Guadalajara, Ohio, Washington State, Canada, Salt Lake City, North Carolina, Belgium, Mexico. I'm telling you, we're deep. We're deep. We got Florida. We got New York. We got Maryland checking in. We got throw them T's up, boy. So we got people from all over hyped for this game tonight, man. Really excited. First away game. I know you guys know that already. Oh, we got Dubai, Tijuana. Sheesh. But very excited. I keep saying it over and over again. So I know there's a lot of emphasis on Brock Purdy. Yes. Shout out Visalia. I think that's how you say it. I got you. We got Dubai over here. I mean, we got squad. We got squad everywhere. I know a lot of the emphasis checking in from jail. Let's go. I think Brad's excited. Yeah, I'm excited. That's all I know how to say right now. The caffeine is still entering the bloodstream. So hopefully my vocabulary will expand here as I continue to take those caffeine hits. But the point of what I'm trying to say is I know we put a lot of emphasis on Brock Purdy and what he's going to do tonight. I'm really hoping or looking for a potential key to victory being on the ground. I think the 49ers have an opportunity to run crazy on the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks defense has been giving up some big yardage to rushers over the last couple games. And we talked about the 49ers offensive line struggles in the run game the previous 2 weeks, but the 49ers O-line really came out and performed at a high level against the Bucks. So I'm really hoping that we're going to see a big day on the ground from Christian McCaffrey, but also a big day on the ground from Jordan Mason. I think with each game that goes by, Jordan Mason is earning more and more trust. And let's face it, I can understand not wanting to rush Jordan Mason in, sprinkling him in, don't giving him more than he can chew kind of mentality. But this feels like a game where you kind of want to play, not that the Seattle defense or offense is so scary that you don't think that the 49ers number one defense can't stop them. But it feels like a great key to victory here is just controlling the clock. If you can keep the ball away from the Seattle Seahawks in that type of environment, and you can take the stadium out of it by just gashing them with the run, 5-yard run, 6-yard run, 15-yard run, 7-yard run, and you just start pounding the rock, you can quiet that stadium. You can quiet the energy. You can basically take that part of the game away from them. And I think that would be huge for getting out of here with a dub and hopefully forcing them to have to play from behind, where then you can just sick your defense on them. Nick Bosa, Charles Omenihu, Samson Ebukam, Eric Armstead, the list goes on and on. Drake Jackson, the guys that you can send after him. So that's kind of what, if it were up to me, and it's not, Kyle Shanahan is coaching his ass off as of late. He's doing a really good job. I would imagine they're going to look for a run-heavy game, especially if Brock Purdy is feeling a little bit with with the oblique, maybe short week, maybe not put too much stress on the oblique and let the boys work. Christian McCaffrey, Jordan Mason potentially having an opportunity for a huge game tonight. Obviously, no Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel will definitely be missed in this game, but it also is going to open up opportunities for other players. And I would imagine a guy like Brandon Ayuk has an opportunity to feast tonight. He's going to be potentially, I don't know how the Seattle defense is going. I don't know if they're going to put Tyreek Woolen on Brandon Ayuk and follow him around the field or whatever they're going to try to do. But I think we need a welcome to the NFL moment for good old Tariq Woolen, and who better to hand that to him than good old Brandon Ayuk, just hitting him with some nasty routes. So obviously, Brandon Ayuk is going to be someone that is going to be relied on, but who is going to help out when they need it the most? Is it going to be a George Kittle game? Is it going to be Jawan Jennings? Are we going to see Jawan Jennings step up to the plate like we've seen and do his third and Jawan things? Or maybe we get our first Danny Gray game of the season. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to find out. So let's do this. Since we didn't do our prediction Friday because it's the game's on Thursday, let's do our offensive predictions for this week. Of who is going to be the offensive player of the game for the San Francisco 49ers. Is it going to be Brandon Ayuk? So drop it in the chat. Who you think is going to be the offensive player of the game for the San Francisco Seahawks. 49ers. You know exactly what I meant. The caffeine still getting into the bloodstream. Let's look over here on IG quickly. I see Kittle. I see Gray. I see Kittle. Brandon Ayuk. CMC, Ayuk or Purdy. CMC, Juice. Ooh, I like that one. Brandon Ayuk as potential offensive player of the game. Let's see what Facebook and YouTube are talking about over here. Let's see. Joshua, right off the bat, says JP Mason will have a game. BA Mason. Ooh, we've got 3 Jordan Masons off the rip on YouTube. McCaffrey. Oh, this is a bold take. Aaron Banks, 1 touchdown. I like it. Christian McCaffrey, CMC or JP Mason, CMC, BA or Kittle, BA, CMC, Danny Gray, BA. Ooh, getting some BAs stacking up on us. BA and Jordan Mason, McCaffrey, Mason, BA and CMC. Ooh, we got a lot of Jordan Mason love tonight. Today, I don't even know what time it is. It's time to win. That's what time it is. Kittle will eat tonight. BA, Jordan Mason, BA. Oh, this feels like a Jordan Mason game, huh? This feels like a Jordan Mason game. Do we get has Jordan Mason scored a touchdown? I don't think he has. Do we get our first Jordan Mason touchdown of the year? Maybe. I mean, Jordan Mason feels like the prototypical short yardage back. I mean, he has the ability to really explode into the open field and make guys miss. But if you need those tough yards in a phone booth, Jordan Mason seems like he's that guy that can get it done for you. So would love to see more of that. I see a lot more Kittle. I see some JJ, CMC, more Mason, Kittle, some Danny Gray love. Oh, we got our first Purdy. First, maybe not our first Purdy, but we got some Purdys in here. So, player of the game. Can we say offensive line is going to be the player of the game? Maybe. O-line love. Trent Williams, player of the game. Trent Williams touchdown loading. Whoo! Can we get a Trent Williams? Hey, Kyle, I know you're watching the stream because you watch every day. Can we get a Trent Williams touchdown, please? I want it. Scheme it up. The Penei Sewell, get him in motion him across the line of scrimmage, have him leak out into the flat, and let the big man cook. I would pay. I'm already paying money to see it, but please, I want to see it. That would make my day, make my year if we got a Trent Williams touchdown. I know we tried last year against the Jags, unsuccessful attempt, but geez, we need it again. I want it. I want to see it. Can we get Ayuk leaves Woolen on skates play? I hope so. I want to see that. I would love to see that. So if I had to poll, like, kind of look at the chat on all platforms, it feels like the clubhouse leader is Jordan Mason for offensive player of the game, if not up there at the top. So, Jordan Mason, are we saying Jordan Mason player of the game? Offensive player of the game. I could see it. I could get those opportunities. You get into that short yardage area. You go jumbo sets, and you just let the kid tote the rock and just plunge into the end zone. 2 touchdowns, Jordan Mason. Not only does Jordan Mason get his first touchdown, but he gets dose touchdowns. I hope so. I'm gonna hop on the bandwagon. Christian McCaffrey could absolutely be the player of the game. George Kittle could absolutely be the player of the game. Purdy, Ayuk, Juwan Jennings. Let's manifest that Jordan Mason breakout, huh? I want to see it. I definitely want to see it. So this is a perfect transition for us. My guy on Instagram, Cloud Wade, says defensive player of the game is going to be Bosa with 3 sacks. 3 sacks. He's calling it here. So that's our perfect transition into who you guys think the defensive player of the game is going to be against Seattle. So drop it in the chat. Who do you think is going to stand out on this 49ers defense against the Seattle Seahawks? I mean, the list goes on and on. You've got Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, Talanoa Hufanga. You have Charvarius Ward, Jimmy Ward versus DK Metcalf. My boy Cisco saying Greenlaw. Greenlaw's been playing lights out. It's wild. Like, I keep talking about it. It's wild to see the way Dre Greenlaw is playing next to the best linebacker in the NFL. I don't think it's crazy at all to say Fred Warner is the best linebacker in the NFL. And then when you say that, and then you look at how Dre Greenlaw has been playing the last 3-4 weeks, whoo, that boy's cooking. I mean, he's led the team in tackles. I would say probably the most. He's led the team in tackles probably like for 80% of the games this year. He's going nuts. But you also have guys like Diamador Lenore, who's stepped up and played really well. Who else has been balling out there? Of course, Charles Omenihu, who's always creating havoc. Maybe Eric Armstead is able to eat on the interior. So the Seattle Seahawks have 2 rookie tackles. So they got 2 rookie tackles. They got Gabe Jackson at right guard. I think so. Last week, you go back to week 2, Charles Omenihu was doing some work on that interior, and he was creating a lot of pressure, and he was getting real close to creating some havoc there. He created a lot of pressure, that's for sure. So, going to be interesting to see. But let's go. I'm going to look at the chat. Let me kind of scroll back up. So, again, drop your defensive player of the games for 49ers versus Seahawks. Let's see what you got. I see some Dre Greenlaw here on Instagram. I see a Fred Warner. I see a Huff. Some more Fred Warners. Huff with a pick. Let's see. Aziz. Hey, don't forget, Aziz had probably one of the arguably best games of his career against Seattle in Seattle last year. Unfortunately, it's not remembered because they lost that game, but Aziz went crazy against Seattle last year. So let's go. I'm going to look at YouTube and Facebook now. Defensive players of the game per YouTube and Facebook. We've got Cheyenne says Bosa with the Sackaroonies. Vlad calling for Dre. Bosa with 3 Sackaroonies from GAA. Greenlaw. Jesus. Bosa with the 2-piece nugget. Greenlaw. Bosa. Dre Day. Bosa, Defensive Player of the Year. Dre Greenlaw. Bosa. Dre. There's 2 wards. You got to be specific with which ward you're picking. Greenlaw, Huff, Bosa 2 sacks, Greenlaw 15 tackles from 5.59 fishing. Greenlaw, Darth Yogurt is going for Greenlaw for Defensive Player of the Game. Oh, we got a Armstead. There we go. Joshua says Fred Warner's leadership is his most underrated trait. Oh, it's probably his best trait. Fred Warner is a phenomenal leader, 100%. Absolutely phenomenal leader. We don't talk about Tashawn Gibson enough. Quietly having a fantastic year. I remember being in Minnesota for joint practices, and shout out to Steph Sanchez. We were watching the joint practices, and we saw like Adam Peters, we saw John Lynch, we saw Kyle Shanahan before practice working some guy out, and we're like, who is that? And again, shout out Steph. She saw it, she picked it up, and caught on to it. And it was later reported that was Tashawn Gibson. Who knew? Like, again, Tashawn Gibson has had a good career, but he was a free agent all the way through training camp. Like, we were into preseason week 2, week 3, whatever it was. They pick Tashawn Gibson up off the street. He takes over the starting safety role. Jimmy Ward comes back. They move Jimmy to nickel. I mean, Tashawn Gibson doesn't get talked about enough, but he's having a phenomenal season. He got the pick on Tom Brady last week. He's quietly had a very good season. Joey says Drake Jackson going to come out, have a game. Joseph says Fred Warner and Greenlaw will dominate the entire game. Does feel like a linebacker type game. That's for sure. Joey says Kyle Juszczyk and Charmander West. Oh, can't forget Charmander West. Charmander West signature game coming in. If you know, you know. Dre Greenlaw with 20 tackles. I would love to see a Dre Greenlaw 20 tackle game. That would be absolutely phenomenal. That would be fantastic on prime time. This is going to be fun though, because it's narrative season, right? So we understand that narratives drive a lot of the national conversation. So what narratives are going to come out of this game with the entire world watching on Thursday Night Football. What is going to be the narrative? Dre Greenlaw has an opportunity to he can be a household name after tonight. He really can. Because if he starts balling out again, they're going to start pulling up all his stats for the year. They're going to start showing highlights and clips. We understand, like, he's quietly coming on. We know Dre Greenlaw, big play Dre. We understand who Dre Greenlaw is since 2019, since his rookie year, former 5th-round draft pick. Like, we know Dre Greenlaw in our fan base. But I think over the last month, with our fan base is starting to like, wow, Dre Greenlaw is really good. Like, not just like Dre makes big plays and he's fast and he's physical. Like, we're like, Dre Greenlaw might be one of the best linebackers in the NFL. So Dre Greenlaw is one of these guys that can come out tonight on the national stage and put that narrative out there for the rest of the world to see, that he is one of the best linebackers in the NFL, that it's not just Fred Warner. It's not like he has that opportunity tonight. Other guys have that opportunity tonight. And that's what national games are. All the lights, all the eyes are on you. And you have an opportunity to go out here and make a name for yourself. So if Dre Greenlaw comes out and balls out, they're going to be pulling up all his stats, what he's done this last month. He has an opportunity to really get his name on the national stage. And also guys like Nick Bosa. We understand what it is. Right now, the defensive player of the year conversation, is it Nick Bosa? Is it Micah Parsons? Is it Micah Parsons? Is it Nick Bosa? And everyone arguing back and forth. If Nick Bosa comes out and gets 3 sackaroonies, the conversation isn't going to be really a conversation. It's going to be Nick Bosa because he has 14 and a half sacks. Oh, I rewatched that almost sack that he had on Tom Brady. That looked like a sack. I think that was a sack. I think Nick Bosa got robbed of a sackaroonie against Tom Brady. They gave him the tuck rule of, like, I think I replayed it multiple times. It looks like his knee is down. The ball is still in his hand. Yeah, he's in his throwing motion, but the ball was in his hand. His knee was down. Sack. He got robbed. So Bosa got robbed of a sackaroonie. He has 14 and a half, should be 15 and a half. But if Nick Bosa can come out here on prime time against 2 good rookies, right? Yes, they're rookie tackles. They are. But if he comes out here and puts on a show, you change the narrative, you change the conversation, and you go from 14 and a half to 15, 16, 17 and a half sacks like this with 3 games remaining. You're starting to talk about, is Nick Bosa going to break the sack record? Is Nick Bosa going to do something that's never been done in the NFL? And then the defensive player of the year conversation becomes more palpable. It becomes less, you can't really debate it at that point. Like, yeah, Micah Parsons is having a phenomenal year, but if we're talking about Nick Bosa breaking the sack record, go grab some pine, Micah. This year's not your year. But we'll see. G Code Travels says, appreciate the super chat. He says, who will reach the number 31st? SF Giants new shortstop Carlos Correa, 30 homers, or Kittle in 30 yards receiving? Past 3 games under 30. Feed him. Kittle, I hope you're listening. Did you hear that? Kyle, I hope you're listening. I know Kyle watches the stream. Huge fan of the Sourdough Squad. So shout out to Kyle Shanahan. Kyle, G Code just posed a question. Who will reach the number 31st? The San Francisco Giants' new shortstop Carlos Correa hitting 30 home runs, or Kittle getting beyond the 30-yard receiving mark. Shots fired. Shots fired. Let's get Kittle the ball, baby. I love Kittle, man. Kittle's been. Have you guys seen Kittle blocking though? Whoo! Kittle's out here smoking dudes in the run game. You go back to CMC, a couple of those runs that CMC had where he busted for big ones. Shout out George Kittle, man. George Kittle had a phenomenal block on Levante David right there in the hole. Dug him out of the hole. CMC fits right off his hip. Absolutely dope. But hey, what Kittle exploded last year. What did he have? 2 touchdowns against Seattle. That the toe tapper off the sideline. I would love to see George Kittle have a big game for sure. But got to get him the rock more. And I don't think it's because of Kittle. I think it's a duality situation. I think defense is key on Kittle heavily. They try to take Kittle away. I mean, you think about it, right? Tight ends are typically some of the, some quarterbacks' best friends. They're right there in the middle of the field. You have an opportunity to get the tight end the ball, in a hurry. And typically young quarterbacks can begin to favor tight ends. But if your tight end is getting bracketed left and right, it makes it more difficult to get them the football. And then they're going to, come off Kittle to another option. And I don't see Brock Purdy as someone who's like going to live and die by just force feeding the ball. If it's not open, if the defenses take it away, he's going to find the open guy. And that's one of my favorite things for what Brock does and how he performs. But I haven't picked my defensive player of the game yet. So I jumped on the bandwagon with offensive player of the game, Jordan Mason. I think this is like the second time I think I've picked Jordan Mason to be player of the game in the last couple weeks on offense, but I'm sticking to it. Even with CMC going crazy, even with CMC balling, feels like we could get some Jordan Mason red zone work. We'll see. Kyle, if you're listening, would love to see it. Also, defensive player of the game. Is it going to be Nick Bosa? Is it going to be Greenlaw? Is it going to be Warner, Jimmy Ward, Charvarius Ward, Talanoa Hufanga, Tashawn Gibson, Samson Ebukam, Charles Omenihu, Diamador Lenore? Does Aziz break out? The popular pick feels like it's Dre Greenlaw. Based on all our chats, feels like it's Dre Greenlaw to be defensive player of the game, and that feels safe. It definitely feels safe. Definitely feels safe. Oh, a part of me wants to say Omenihu. Part of me wants to say Omenihu because you got Eric Armstead back. Someone over here on IG said Armstead. So now process it. Nick Bosa, stud. How are the Seattle Seahawks going to manage that? Are they going to slide protection to Nick Bosa? Are they going to chip Nick Bosa constantly? I would imagine. With Eric Armstead, he's going to create a lot of havoc. So if you can get Charles Omenihu one-on-one with these guards that Seattle has, and let's say they're sliding protection away, and you get Omenihu on an island, what he did week 2, I think with Eric Armstead being back could translate to sack production. We'll find out. But my sneaky defensive player of the game is going to be Omenahue. My sneaky pick, if because I really do think with Eric being back, Ebukam, Drake Jackson, and Nick Bosa, you're going to be able to potentially scheme up those 1v1 backside guard situations and passing downs. And if the 49ers can continue to play phenomenal coverage and make Geno Smith hold on to the ball for one second longer, not even 1 second, half a second longer, I think Omenahue's getting home maybe multiple times. We'll see. So my sneaky pick for defensive player of the game is going to be Omenahue. But if I had to pick like my brain, what my brain is telling me, with this game, you got DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Kenneth Walker will be playing. He is a phenomenal running back. He is going to be very difficult to stop, and I do imagine they're going to run him quite a bit. That's going to be a difference maker, though, this week. We haven't talked about this yet. Week 2, Kenneth Walker was not a factor. He was recovering from sports hernia surgery. He was being eased into action. They still had what's his name? Rashad Penny as the starter. Kenneth Walker is infinitely a better running back than Rashad Penny. So there is a bit of a new wrinkle that the 49ers haven't really been tested with. And as you've seen, Kenneth Walker is an absolute stud. So it's going to be imperative where maybe guys like Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner are going to have to be on their P's and Q's to be able to ensure that Kenneth Walker isn't the guy that is going to go crazy. So taking that logic into consideration, considering I do think they're going to hand it off to him quite a bit, I feel like I got to go Dre Greenlaw too. My head, I keep trying to I want to find like a really creative one, but it keeps coming back to these linebackers because not only do our linebackers cover, but they are going to be trying to run the football and, they're going to try to gash the 49ers and keep the ball on the ground, allow Geno Smith to do his dinking and dunking. So linebackers are going to have to step up. Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, Azeez Al-Shaair. I'm going to say the whole linebacking core I'm going to take it a step further. My defensive players of the game is going to be the linebackers. I think Dre's going to have a good day. I think Fred's going to have a good day. And then my sneaky defensive player of the game is going to be Omenahue. So that's how I got it right now. We got some super chats in here. Let me get to the super chats. Don't call me while I'm on a live. Don't call me when I'm on a live. Spam calls like crazy. Money Mark, appreciate the super chat. He says, Ray McLeod, player of the game on special teams. Let's effing go. SDS King in Seattle. You see it, Money Mark. We out here repping. Shout out to all the SDS squad. It's going to be a fun one, man. We normally don't do pre-game lives at 10:30 in the morning on Thursdays, but that's the type of day it is today. So definitely excited, and it's going to be a really fun atmosphere. I'm really excited. If you guys are going to the game today, if you're in Seattle right now and you're going to the game, let me know. I would love to see how many SDS we got in person for this game. Cheyenne, appreciate the super chat. She says, been asking the football gods for a Fred Warner pick 6 for 4 weeks now. Is this the game? Poetic if the gods had made me wait until Seattle. Listen, when we ask the football gods for things, they don't always give us it exactly the way we imagine it to be. Like we ask for wins, we ask for success. They give us Brock Purdy. Like that's not how we imagine it to be. We ask for Fred Warner pick sixes. We don't get it for a while, but when we get it, might be the most impactful. So just because we haven't got it yet doesn't mean the football gods aren't listening to us. They aren't smiling down upon us with us in favor. They work in mysterious ways. So Fred Warner pick six, it could happen tonight. It could. So don't count out the football gods. The football gods, I know we've had some injuries, but again, they work in mysterious ways. Football gods, if you're listening, we still believe in you. And we ask for blessings and health amongst most things tonight against the Seattle Seahawks. So we don't speak ill of the football gods. We do not. Shout out the football gods. Special shout out to the football gods, baby. Appreciate the super chats. It looks like we're gonna have a couple people in the house tonight. Definitely looking forward to that. So, all right, it's that time. It's that time. It's score prediction time. We did our score predictions yesterday, but I think it's time to reset because we've had some time to sleep on it. We've thought about it. Let's get our score predictions in the chat. You already know how this works. Drop all your score predictions into the chat. What is going to be the final score? And again, one of the things that we do when you guys are dropping score predictions into the chat is we're trying to assess how you believe this game will be played. The score can tell us, is it a close game? Is it going to be a game that comes down to the wire? Is it going to be a blowout? Drop it in the chat. What are the score predictions going to be for this game against Seattle? All right, I'm going to start with IG first. So keep dropping them. All right, we're getting them in here. Roll them in. Score predictions, 49ers versus Seattle. Huh? Sure. Do you have a score prediction? What's your score prediction? Score prediction. What's the score going to be?
Probably like about 24-17.
Ooh, 49ers win?
Yeah.
Ooh, good job.
If I get it, I'm a mind reader. or I'm like a future tell.
The chosen one. He said 24-17. So he's starting off the score prediction 24-17. That's not a bad one. All right. We'll give the little one some credit. Not a bad one. Not a bad one at all. All right, we're going to start with IG first. Let's see. We've got 32-17, 24-13, 38-9, 35-3. Woo! 27-17. I see 27-17 again. 17-7 Niners. 24-17 Niners. 26-21. 14-28. I see 27-10. 35-28. I kind of like that one. 41-21, 30-13, 27-10, 35-0. Sheesh. All right. Let's see what YouTube and Facebook are talking about. Oh, we got a super chat score prediction. They'll start us off. So super chat score prediction from 49ers Faithful says 30 plus to 13 49ers win. Oh, we're feeling confident. We definitely got some confident fans, baby. 33-16. Joshua's you had had the blowout last night on our late night gang stream, but you doubled down and you're like, I'm going even harder. 52-3, and we get a full quarter of Josh Johnson. Wow. Hey man, if that's what happens, I'm for it. Bossman says 37-10. We got some blowouts brewing. 30-17. We've got 28-17. Connor saying 20-17. Jesus with his weekly obligatory just win, doesn't care about the score, just wants the W, which I ultimately respect. Tony Montana says 34-13, not changing the score. Darth Yogurt says 24-13. John says 24-17 on Facebook. 34-10, Niners, baby. Dom saying 27-13. Patabo with a 35-6 blowout. Not even a touchdown for them chickens. 35-28 from Chad. Steve saying 42-14. Darius 28-14. Brian 24-13. We got a 27-17, 27-20, 27-17, 42-3. Man, you guys are confident. I wish I had your confidence. I think it's gonna be a close game. 34-14. Local 49ers fan says 49ers 21, Seahawks 10. We got 38-13, 23-16. Dana says from Hawaii, mahalo Uso, love your channel. 42-10. I love Warner, but Dre Greenlaw, aka 1 inch, 2019, denied the C expletives and on his shoulder, took us to the bowl. The tenacity of Dre, all day MVP. Hey, I like that. And mahalo to you for supporting the channel. We appreciate it. We got 27-23, 28-10, 27-13. Paul 24-17, 28-17. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm seeing a lot more blowouts. Like right off the bat, we got back to back. We got 42-10, 30-10, 31-10. I'm seeing lots of blowouts. 27-17, 26-14. Spy Nick 27-24. See, I'm in the boat where I think this is going to be a close game. I don't know. I'll take a blowout 100%. I will absolutely take a blowout, but Sydney Johnson with the super chat says, I don't know why, bro, but I feel it's going to be a tie game. If so, what would that mean for the 49ers? Oh, that's a good question. I have no idea what that would mean if they tied. Honestly, I don't know. The 49ers would they own the tiebreaker. So 49ers Seattle tie. the 49ers have one game up on Seattle, so is that like being up like 1.5 games or being up one game? I don't know. Math isn't my friend. So um but if they did tie, which would be wild, uh the 49ers would still own the tiebreaker from my understanding because they did win week 2. Uh so it's kind of how I would imagine it to be. 1.5 lead if we tie. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying my terrible math. So this is how I am tracking right now. So based on all our chats, I'm seeing blowout. I'm seeing 49er faithful feeling confident heading in to this game. I see a lot of blowouts, like which, let's face it. So I don't like predictions, if I'm being truthfully honest, because I'm a range of outcomes person. So shout out to my ADHD. One of my ADHD superpowers is I can process hundreds, if not thousands, of ranges of outcomes. And my biggest problem is picking like the right range of outcome. Like I can look at this game 4 million different ways. I could see 30,000 different ranges of outcomes to come away from this game. I can see blowouts. I can see pure domination, but I can see, you know, it's Seattle. It's, I think back to what was it, 2014? Was it 2014 when the San Francisco 49ers opened up week 1 against the Green Bay Packers? I think Colin Kaepernick threw for 400 yards, 3 to 4 touchdowns. Offense looked fantastic, and it's 2014, so you're off of the 2013 season, and I'm like, okay, week 2, the 49ers are going to go up to Seattle and they're just going to take care of business. Like we're going to take care of business. The Seattle Seahawks snatched our souls in 2014 in week 2. And I'll never forget it because our offense reverted. They changed the scheme. They went from like trying to be more of like a system that fit Colin Kaepernick to back to their like ultra pro style Stanford 3 tight ends fullback. Like, so I just have so many ranges of outcomes that I'm landing on it being a close game. I hope it's a blowout. I hope this offense plus the defense takes the crowd out of it. You don't have Cam Chancellors out here hit sticking, Vernon Davis. Like you don't have those types of players on Seattle anymore. And I think that was a big part of it. The Richard Shermans, the Cam Chancellors, the other guy, blanking on his name right now. Phenomenal safety. So I think it's going to be a close game. I'm still sticking. I think my score prediction last night was 27-24. I saw someone post, I think, what was it? It was like, I don't know. It was like 34-28 or something like that. I do think it might be Earl Thomas. Thank you. I do think it's going to be a closer game. But that's just, I think, because all those ranges of outcomes, I do see a range of outcome where the 49ers could absolutely mollywop the Seattle Seahawks, just like they did in week 2. But I feel like I've seen this movie so many times that I am just tempering my expectations. I think it's more for my mental health than anything else, that I don't want to walk into that stadium believing that it's going to be a shellacking, and it's the opposite of that. So I think just for my mental health, I'm like, all right, it's going to be a close game, because you never know. And I'm heading into enemy territory, so it's going to be my first time to experience what Seattle is like, what CenturyLink is like, aka Lumens. So we're going to find out, but I'm hoping the 49ers can mollywop these dudes. So based on what I'm seeing so far, Jesus asked, where did it go? Have I seen a lot of red out here? Yeah, there's been a lot of red. There's a lot of red on my flight yesterday. So we're kind of by like the main. I would assume this is the touristy spot. Pike's Place, the pier. So I imagine we're in the tourist area, but there's a lot of 49ers red out here. A lot of 49ers red, getting a lot of Go 49ers, and stuff like that. And that was yesterday. I think a lot of people are flying in today. So based on like some of the comments that I've seen and from other people, sounds like a lot of people are flying into Seattle today. Hey, shout out Steph. Hey Steph, I was talking earlier. I shouted you out earlier. We were talking about the Tashawn Gibson story arc of how you pointed it out at Minnesota training camp, and we were talking about like how Tashawn Gibson is having a phenomenal year, and I was like, it's crazy to think that it all started with Steph Sanchez pointing out like, hey, look over there on that far field 3 fields away. They're working someone out. That person was Tashawn Gibson, and to see how he's performed, I don't know if you saw it earlier, but we were talking about it, and I thought it was a fun little story arc we had there going. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be wild. First time in Seattle. First time in Seattle. Shout out my day 2 boy. See you in the chat. Shout out all the SDS. Let's do. We did score predictions. We did players. Let's do bold takes. Let's end our pregame live on bold takes. That's always fun. It's always fun to see what you guys cook up. So let's cook up some bold takes. What are your bold takes from this game? I'm gonna go ahead out on a limb and say some of the blowouts. Like shout out my boy Josh. Like some of these blowout scores. That's a bold take in my opinion. But we'll see. But drop your bold takes in the chat. My guy says, Dre says YouTube better than IG Live. 100% YouTube's better than IG Live. The people in IG Live are phenomenal. The actual setup of IG Live is not good. That's why we do YouTube Lives. So I agree with you there. And that's why we've got, 350 people over here and 63 on IG. But hey, don't get me started. Don't get me started on talking about social media platforms because I could literally go on and on. So we're not going to do that. Boomerat starting us off with BCB best quarterback of the week for bold takes. Let me look at IG for some bold takes. Talk that talk, Steph. Jordan Mason gets 15 plus carries. We all, I think, collectively picked Jordan Mason as our offensive player of the game. If Jordan Mason's getting 15 carries, He's going for 2 tuggies, and he's getting 100 yards. Give the man the rock. David says Purdy 300-plus passing yards. Kiki says Purdy 4 total touchdowns. Rico says Jennings shows out 2 tuds. Hufanga with another interception. Kittle 2 touchdowns. I'd love to see that. Bosa 2 sacks. Okay, and let's shoot on over to YouTube and Facebook. Green Thumb Richie, shout out for the super chat, says I lived in Seattle for 4 years. Nicest hating fan base I've ran into, but like I stayed repping, it was in those heated 2012 to 15 years, Niners all day. Oh yeah, we're feasting out here. Let's see what the bold takes are on YouTube and Facebook. CMC with a touchdown toss to Purdy. How about this, Kyle? Again, I know you're watching. I know you tune into this ginger beard for all this amazing insight and takes from the fans. I know we're your number one, whatever we are. But can we get Christian McCaffrey touchdown pass to Trent Williams? I like that even more. Christian McCaffrey touchdown pass to Trent Williams. Ooh! Do it. Cook it up. I don't know how you're going to do it, but do it. Please. Patabo says Huff 2 interceptions. Jesus wants the Danny Gray touchdown. Dre says CMC 3 touchdowns, 31-3. Let's see. Bold take. We are blowing them out first half. We pull starters in the second. Whew. Seattle scores no more than 10 points. Charlene says Ray going to break through and get a touchdown on a punt return or kickoff return. It felt like in that game against the Bucks, Ray was close. Like, I feel like Ray had one return where like he broke through the initial line. It was like a one line of defense to beat. If he broke through, it would have been a house call. He could be close. Am I going to go live prior to the game? I might be going live in and out throughout. I'm definitely going live after the game. 27-24. Purdy is the new Tom Brady. I went to Volcano Niner Akala on Oahu, offered and sacrificed a seabird. Oh my gosh. Dana, I'm not sure I've seen you around these parts too often, but my gosh, please come back. Dana is out here sacrificing seabirds and throwing them into volcanoes in Oahu to ensure the 49ers win. Dana, please stay. Please make sure you come back for our lives all the time, because that is phenomenal. I appreciate your gesture, and I believe the football gods smile fondly upon you. She said the molten lava spat out 42-10. That's amazing. Shout out, Dan. Joshua says, take us 2 defensive touchdowns. Purdy throws for 300. I'm wearing the Trent Williams today. We're rocking Big Trent today, so that's why it'd be a perfect time for a Trent Williams touchdown. Oh, what's good, Big Bose? We got Big Bose in the building. 200 plus total rush yards. Nick Bosa pick 65. Oh, if we get a pick 6 from Nick Bosa, just give the man the defensive player of the year already. That would be fire. Jason says his bold take is Mason goes for 100 yards this game. Man, what a day. Especially with Kenneth Walker on the other side, one of the best running back prospects to head into this draft class. And if Mason could outperform Kenneth Walker, that again would be another just tip in the cap for what Jordan Mason is and what he could be for this team. Mike says all the blowout predictions is just over pumped fan. That's not a bold take. Jordan Mason runs for 125 yards. Now that's a bold take. Let's go. Kittle gets 3 touchdowns. That's a bold take. Now we're cooking. 300 yards rushing tonight. Both CMC and JP get over 100 rushing yards. Now we're talking. Peace out, Steph. Appreciate you for tapping in. I like that bold take. 100 yards rushing for both CMC and Jordan Mason. That would be fantastic. Niners defense outscores Seattle's offense. Ooh, that's a good bold take. 200 total plus rush yards. Bosa gets 3 sacks. Day 2 boy calling for Armstead 2 sacks. Yeah, I could see that. Jason says JP Mason 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mason runs for a 55-yard touchdown. I love specific bold takes. The specifics really set off the bold takes. Brock throws for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. Gino throws 3 interceptions, and we score on all 3 interceptions. Now, you guys are cooking right now with these bold takes. You guys are cooking. Danny Gray touchdown. Mason over 100 yards rushing. Huff pick 6. Riggs says Panthers had 223 rushing yards against the Seattle Seahawks, 51-13 Niners. Where did I get this hat? This is a residency hat. So if you end up going to residency.com, I got a little promo code, get a little discount, use the SF Niners, and that's where you get the hat. Let's see. Also, listen to Boats. Hit that like button. All my SDS lurkers out there, smash that like button. Hufanga with the pick 6. Defense gets 3+ turnovers. Cheyenne says bold prediction, Ray punt return for a touchdown. Love that one. Rome says Aziz gets a pick. Benny says Armstead 1 pick. Dre Greenlaw 2 interceptions. Dre says CMC breaking a huge run, first play, 80-yard touchdown run. I could vibe with that. 2 interceptions on D today. Brandon Ayuk, 2 touchdowns. Bosa needs 2+ sacks to take a comfortable lead. Tied right now. Here's one. Mason 1 touchdown. Brock running 1 touchdown. McCaffrey 2 touchdowns. Kittle 1 touchdown. Ayuk 1 touchdown. Gould 1 touchdown. Bosa touchdown. Warner touchdown. Hufanga touchdown. All happening tonight. So the 49ers are winning 100-0 according to RG. Ooh, I like this one. Omenihu gets 1.5 sacks. I like that. Omenahu's about to get 7+ pressures tonight. So I agree. Oh, Jason says feels like a trick play type game. Don't forget, we still remember the touchdown that they scored on the punt Remember that last year? That ended up being like the difference in that game where they scored on the fake punt. We didn't forget. So, yes. Touchdown to Trent Williams. Need it. Oh, here we go. Mitch fake punt, touchdown pass. Hell yeah. Gav saying Jawan Jennings 2 touchdowns tonight. So, Shanny throws a tutty. We got some good bold takes, baby. We got some good bold takes. We got this one. I didn't even see this. V says Purdy must beat the sea chicken. That's a prerequisite to being a LTQB. What's LTQB? Like a franchise quarterback? I think. But good job, guys. That was a good one. This was a good episode. This was a good warm up for today's game. So as you guys know, I will be there long term. Thank you. Shout out to all you guys in the chat. Long term. I was like, left tackle quarterback. I was like, what does that mean? Is that our first ever dual position quarterback who plays left tackle also? I was like, I don't know if that would be Brock, but interesting. I got it now. Long-term quarterback makes sense. So you guys were on fire today. As always, shout out to SDS Squad. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Yes, I'm always thinking about the O-line. It's a blessing and a curse all at the same time. But this is going to be a phenomenal game. It's going to be a good time. And there's, of course, a lot at stake. Opportunity here for the 49ers to win the West. That is a big deal. It is a big deal. Don't let anyone tell you that this game is not a huge, huge game. It's a huge game for both teams. It's the middle of December. Playoff seeding is on the line. The 49ers have won 6 games in a row. They have an opportunity to go 7 games in a row. If they can do that, this will be the scariest team in the NFL, and that's with a third string quarterback. Wouldn't want it any other way at all. Highly doubted, but highly favored at the same time. I'll take it all day. Brad does a backflip in his hotel room if we win. That sounds like a recipe for a broken back. Justin says, Brad, could this be a Jordan Mason's biggest game yet? Justin, we have been singing the praises. The entire, I would say the majority of the chat picked Jordan Mason to be the player of the game today. I also picked Jordan Mason to be the player of the game today. There was a lot of Jordan Mason love today on the stream. Clearly, a lot of people think he's going to have a big game. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. As you guys know, I will be posting to all platforms. So YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the places. We're going to be dropping content. So keep your eye out. Hit the notification bells on YouTube if you haven't. That way you don't miss any of the posts. We're going to be getting those in-stadium shots, which are always fun. So definitely looking forward to that. And hopefully we'll be talking after the game about a 49ers W. So lots on the line. Appreciate all you guys as always for tapping in. All my lurkers on YouTube, smash that like button on your way out. We're going to have some fun tonight. So hopefully next time I talk to you guys, we're talking about the San Francisco 49ers winning the West. Looking forward to it. Appreciate all you guys. I'm out of here for now. Peace. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it.